Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to episode 8 of Monorail Memoirs. Today we'll be discussing our favourite Disney snacks of all time. Just before coming online, I called Lauren autistic, and then we moved straight in to the episode. So she's on the back foot. May I present my new Roosevelts? It's not an advertisement. If they want to advertise with us, please contact us at monorailmemoirs@gmail.com. This is my Haunted Mansion shirt that I purchased in the Riviera, but they're sold in many different establishments across Disney World. I just think it's fantastic. So with the DVC discount, because for those that don't know, if you purchase merchandise and you have a DVC account that is eligible because you bought more than 150 points through Disney directly, this was about $63 after tax. I think other than that, it'd be about $75. It's expensive. It's expensive for a t-shirt. But it's very nice. Lauren, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's a bit rainy in England today, which isn't very nice, but hey ho, it is what it is.
Strong with the autism. Happy days. What are we going to be discussing today then, folks? We're going to be going through our favourite Disney snacks of all time. So there's going to be a little bit of back and forth. We don't know what each other's picked because it creates an extra element of intrigue to it. For our UK listeners, I do apologise for the spelling of the word favourite in the title. That was a deliberate choice as much as it pains me. For our American listeners, you've no idea what we're talking about. In which case, then, let's get straight down into it. So when we talk about Disney snacks, we're not talking, obviously, about sit-down meals. We're talking about things that are either available at a quick-service restaurant that is just easy to pick up, or snacks that are in the shops and stands around the various parks. So because we haven't coordinated on this, it's going to be a little bit exciting to see where it goes. We've picked 3 each. My 3 are not in any particular order. Are yours in a particular order?
No, not particularly.
No. Happy days. Well, I'm going to let you take it away to start with then. So give us one from your list of your favourite Disney snacks.
So I think it's worth pointing out before we get into this that we come from 2 kind of completely different perspectives here. So if you've watched last week's podcast, then you'll understand that I come from a completely different kind of standpoint than Cameron. I've got a family of 4 to feed and all that sort of stuff. So the snacks that I look for are, is it healthy on my budget and can I use it as a meal rather than a snack? It's something that you've just got to consider sometimes. So I'm going to go straight in with the Chesseburger spring rolls from the Chesseburger spring roll cart in Magic Kingdom. I absolutely love these, so much so that when we get back, we always try and make them. Spoiler alert, it's always terrible because who can make spring rolls at home? Not me. But we always give it a go in the air fryer. It's not the best, but when we go there, I run straight to that spring roll cart and I absolutely love them.
Is that the cart? Because you'll have to forgive me, Chesseburger spring rolls doesn't sound like my sort of thing, but is that one of the carts that's located in front of the castle? Or
so it's kind of going into Adventureland.
I think I might know what you mean. Yeah, okay. It's just after the bridge?
Yeah, just before the bridge.
Before the bridge, okay.
Yeah,
okay. That's interesting. I mean, cheeseburgers. Who thinks of putting cheeseburgers and spring rolls together?
I don't know, but whoever did it is a genius because they are fantastic. It's kind of mincemeat with kind of pickles, a bit of cheese in there, obviously in the spring roll, and then your dipping sauce is a bit like a Big Mac sauce. So you get kind of like that Thousand Island-y, relishy kind of feel to it. It is fantastic.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to agree. The term pickles put me off quite extensively, but we'll roll with it. For those that don't know, I live off a diet basically of meats, cheeses, and breads, and that's not served me wrong thus far. So, I'll give one of mine, and I think it's one that we actually discussed last week, but is a real staple, and this might have more nostalgia to it than anything else. But it is a Mickey Premium bar. So there's loads of ice cream stands, and let's face it, Floridian heat in the middle of summer, you're going to get to above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 35 degrees Celsius with 90% plus humidity. It's excessive. You walk outside and you need a shower, and an ice cream is a really good way to cool down. Now, the Mickey Premium bar is not perfect, so it is a ice cream, vanilla ice cream, in the shape of a Mickey head on a stick. The chocolate that coats it it seems to break up in any number of terms and goes flying everywhere. I had one before, not my last visit to Disney, but the one last year. Actually, it was in January. I don't know why I said last year. The one the visit in January, where the woman who handed it to me, the server who handed it to me at the cart, said it's been put on dry ice, so you're going to have to give it a minute. It's going to be really hard. And I don't know I don't know if that's a common thing. I don't know if that was a one-off, but what it meant is that the ice cream, the chocolate element on the edge of the ice cream didn't just break away and disappear. So that was actually quite good, even if it did take slightly longer to eat. So I was a fan of that one. It is $6.50 though, which for an ice cream that, let's be really clear here, you could probably go and get a 6-pack of something very similar, just not in the shape of a Mickey head, for about $6.50. It's a lot of money, but it is good. When we went to the Moonlight Magic DVC at Blizzard Beach earlier this summer, what I didn't realize, and it was great, is usually with Moonlight Magic, what you have is you're given a ticket that has got sort of like a punch card, effectively, with the stands that'll be open, or what have you, and you get your sort of free food that way. This one, there was just 4 or 5 stands open. You just queued and you just got as many ice creams and drinks as you want. So I had 3 of the Mickey premium bars in one evening, along with some of the Mickey sandwiches. Again, don't use my diet as an example of how one should live. But yeah, the Mickey premium bar for me is just a staple. It's a staple, but it's an expensive staple. Happy days, Lauren. You're next on your list.
So I was toying whether or not to put this in or not, but because it is still very kind of.
The pen is out and ready, so I'm writing it down.
It's very obvious, should I say? But I just love a Dole Whip.
Oh God!
You were talking about how in the summer heat, like you need something cold. But for me, the Mickey premium bars are okay, but they can sometimes. It's just that American chocolate. It's just not the best, especially coming from a Dairy Milk kind of.
Galaxy's better, but fine.
Well, Galaxy, Dairy Milk, whatever, in the UK, they are fantastic. And so then when you get that, I'm really sorry, Americans, but that cheap, nasty American chocolate on things, it just kind of taints it a little bit for me. And just the fact that it's in the shape of a Mickey doesn't make it taste any better.
She's right.
So I would much prefer to go for a Dole Whip because it's kind of like a sorbet kind of feel to it. It's a bit like a sorbet mixed with a Mr. Whippy soft serve.
Yeah, it's a soft served ice cream that has got pineapple flavour in it. And here's the point. I don't get it.
It's just so refreshing and needed in the Florida heat.
Buy one of the ice cream tubs, one of the lemonade tubs that's just sorbet. That's more refreshing. There's more of it, same price. I'm sorry, I don't get this obsession with Dole Whip. I don't get it. It's soft serve ice cream with pineapple flavour in it. All right. Big deal. I don't understand. But people like you think it's a great idea, so
it is, it's fantastic. And they do so many variations of it nowadays as well. You can get loads of different ones. And you can even get it with a pineapple upside down cake attached to it. I think that's amazing.
I didn't know that, actually. That's quite funny. Although I confess, I've only ever had one Dole Whip. But again, if I'm not a fan, why would I go and buy another one?
True, and it's very fruity. Yeah, which is probably why I like it, because I like quite fruity things.
Mine was, I had mine at Alani, the Disney resort in Hawaii. This follows on from last week's conversation, where I may, because I don't have children, I do spend basically the money you would spend on children on Disney. So
yeah, just last week I spent almost £200 on a kids' party. That's not including the cake, the balloons, the party bags.
That's about $250 for our American listeners.
Yeah,
which over here probably sounds like nothing because that's what it is. But fine. I mean, for the Dole Whip crowd, don't be offended, but I'm not a fan. As we move on, this is. The last time I had one of these was last time I visited, and I got it from the Baseline Tap House, and it's a Mickey pretzel with cheese sauce. Now, the Mickey pretzel, when it comes warm And granted, the cheese does taste like plastic cheese, which if that's what you're into, great. I don't dunk it, I lightly dip. But the Mickey pretzel, it's just a soft, salty pretzel. It's shaped like Mickey Mouse, hence why it's called a Mickey pretzel. I'm quite a fan, and it's really quite filling. Is it a full meal? No, it isn't. Is it cheap? No, it isn't. But it's I think the last time I paid was sort of either $14 or $15 for it. But it's warm. It's lovely with accompanied by a beer. Yeah, a great bar snack, and I think quite underrated actually is the Mickey pretzel. It's available in all of the parks, well, all of the 4 main parks. It's available in all of the parks. So the Mickey pretzel is a strong contender for mine. Your third one, then, Lauren. Your third and final favorite snack of all time.
So, yeah, I was kind of thinking that this would be a good one, but now I don't know. So one thing that I really like, and I know that all of mine are going to be in the Magic Kingdom, spoiler alert, but what I really like is going into the confectionery and just taking in that smell. It is absolutely amazing. And then if you go around to the back, they do this popcorn that is got drizzles of chocolate on, M&Ms, or kind of Reese's Pieces, or pretzels, and it is a whole like meal. It is massive. You can either have it to snack throughout the day, or it can be a meal. It is massive. And for someone who is a massive sweet tooth, it's absolutely amazing. I love it. I've only ever had it once, because it was a fairly new thing when I last went, and obviously I've not been since, and it is quite expensive for a bit of popcorn essentially, but it's a whole experience as well because they do it in front of you and it's just dead cool. So yeah, I think that would probably be in my top 3.
That'll round out your list. And that confectionery shop on Main Street, though, is really good. The smell as you walk in, and I believe it's one of the areas where they pipe smells in as well, just to make it a little bit more impactful to you. Because the smell recall you can have and the connection it can have to emotions is a lot stronger than a lot of people will anticipate or realize. But you're right. That confectionery entire shop has some great stuff in there. I know years gone by would buy blocks of fudge, which would last you for about a week because it's just so dense and heavy and rich. So having confectionery popcorn is not necessarily a bad shout. I do notice that 2 of yours are sweet options and with only 1 savory, which perhaps highlights your preferences. Mine, on the other hand, are 2 savory and 1 sweet because my final one is a turkey leg.
No, that's the worst thing you can get.
No, it's not. It's fantastic.
That's
so the turkey leg is, as the name suggests, a massive turkey leg. I will confess it's exceptionally salty, which on a warm, humid day in central Florida is the exact opposite of what you need. But the turkey leg, it's got so much meat on it. It's a little bit tough. You kind of got to get a little bit carnivorous. You gotta get the gnashes out and get it out. Just fantastic. The turkey leg is not cheap. I confess I haven't had one the last couple of times because the saltiness really will set you back, having to purchase enough drinks to maintain some degree of hydration. But the turkey leg is a staple of Disney snacks, I think, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why I lean towards it. There is one other thing I want to talk about, though, and it's not necessarily a classic snack, but it's the Epcot seasonal booths that they have. Yeah. When you think of the Food and Wine Festival, for example, some menus change annually, others kind of stay the same. But the idea that you can sort of eat around the world in a way where you get smaller portions, and depending on your appetite, and also wallet size, there were different price points, but you can get different foods from places across the world. I remember a couple of years ago there was an Australia booth, which I thought was fantastic. There are some real authentic African foods as well, which I think is great. And so that is difficult to be able to pick out as a sort of a favorite Disney snack. But if you go during any of the festivals, really, but especially during Food and Wine, which happens towards the back end of the year, October time, September, October, you can get a real plethora of options there that I think it helps turn a whole different experience out of Epcot, because I think Epcot is the best park. You think it's the worst. It's worst or second to worst? I can't remember.
No, worst.
worst. Well, you're wrong. But one of the reasons I enjoy it is because of, whilst yes, the festival fever has caused the entire normal battle rhythm of being in Epcot to be thrown off because it's really busy. Opening days of any of these festivals avoid like it's the plague, but the options you get for the food really do add a different experience to Epcot, where it becomes an almost culinary experience rather than being just another trip to Epcot, which is pretty standard with your favorite rides, and then you wander around the World Showcase. So
I agree. It does give that layer of something new as well, doesn't it? It kind of gives that wanting more factor, because you could go for the Flower and Garden, you can go for the International Festival of the Arts, you can go for the Festival of the Holidays, you can go for Food and Wine. You've got those different seasons in the year, which makes it different, which then makes people want to go again.
Completely agreed. And so to boil it down then, the three that you had listed as your favorite Disney snacks of all time were the cheeseburger spring rolls, the Dole Whip, and the popcorn you get in the confectionery shop in Magic Kingdom. Mine is the Mickey Premium Bar Ice Cream, the Mickey Pretzel with the cheese sauce, and the turkey leg. I appreciate you're shaking your head. I think the Dole Whip is a waste, and there's no way I'm having the cheeseburger spring roll. So what this does help to highlight is there are a plethora of options for everyone and all different sorts of tastes, whether it be more sweet, whether it be more savory. And actually, one of the things I had to fight on my list in my mind was, do I put in the hot dogs that you get at Casey's Corner? But then I was like, is that a snack? That's more of a meal.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking, because that would to me be a quick service meal.
Yeah, it is more of a meal, and so that's why I sort of avoided it. But I mean, I've never known a foot-long hot dog to be a snack before, but some people have got different approaches to food and intake than others. That's going to do it for this week, folks, talking about our favorite Disney snacks of all time. So thank you very much for joining for episode 8. Episode 9 will be out next week, as always. The ticker across the bottom, which Lauren's going to do her finger punch. If you do wish to contact us on via email, you have got monorailmemoirs@gmail.com. You can always get hold of us in the comment section of YouTube, and we do have Instagram and TikTok accounts that are ran by Lauren, if we're honest, and that is at Monorail Memoirs. Just at Monorail Memoirs. There's nothing else to the handle. It's quite simple. So with that in mind, thank you very much all for attending. We will see you all next week, and as always, please stand clear of the doors. Bye, everybody.
Bye.